Here to help me break this all down is Charles Marino, who served as an advisor to the Department of Homeland Security under President Barack Obama. Chuck, good morning. Thanks so much for joining us here on Morning in America.
Morning, Nick.
Hey, Chuck, let's get right into this. What do you think of Mexico's president acknowledging the possibility of an agreement? Where would negotiations even start with a group that is accused of everything from human trafficking to money laundering?
Well, this is certainly a unique situation where the president of Mexico acknowledges the openness to a peace plan with the cartels in public. But look, I think as the United States, we need to read into this because I think it confirms what we've long known, and that is that the Mexican cartels are, in fact, the de facto government of Mexico. They are running Mexico. And when you talk about peace plans, this is not language that's typically used when you're talking about criminal organizations. This is language that's used when you're talking about insurgencies, those groups like the cartels that are making the Mexican government ineffective at running the country due to fear and intimidation.
Chuck, in a June 1st article in The Guardian, the Mexican president was said that he would support anything that would mean curbing Mexico's ongoing carnage. Would it complicate things if the U.S. were to then label the cartel as terrorists?
I don't think it does. The U.S. has the right to unilaterally designate these groups anything that they want to, and that directs the forces, the resources that the U.S. government can bring to combat the cartels. What is different here is the close coordination that does not exist between Mexico and the United States. We can use history as an indicator. The United States has been in this position of support and offering support back in the early 2000s under President Clinton with Colombia and Plan Colombia when they were going up against the armed Revolutionary Guards in Colombia. They were, in fact, an insurgency. The U.S. worked closely with Colombia, and the problem was significantly deteriorated and solved through the use of the military. So we've got to change our tactics here. Obviously, the Mexico president knows that his current approach of using the military for law enforcement issues is not working. But they've got to squash this violence quickly.
Chuck, this seems like such a desperate move. Common sense tells me that if we already know your force is not working to stop them, we're now asking you to come to the table so we can make a deal. How can we trust that the cartel would even keep their part of the deal and keep the peace given their history?
Well, you can, and this is politically risky for President Obrador. Look, the fact that he says he's open to negotiating a peace plan with the cartels means that he's already, in fact, started negotiating with the cartels by that very statement, and he's done so publicly. So he is certainly hung himself out there publicly and offered this olive branch. And I think you're right. I think, look, there's a very high likelihood and probability that the cartels don't take him up on this offer, because an offer of peace to comply with peace means that the cartels stop making money. And overall, that's what they want to do. Now, look, the U.S. policies have aided the cartels in becoming much more powerful organizations due to our inept policies that we're seeing unfold on the southwest border. So we all own a share in this problem, but we really can work together, redesignate what we call the cartels and how we approach them to solve this problem.
Well, Charles, I know for a fact that we will have this discussion again. Charles Marino, thank you so much for joining us.
All right, Nick. Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.